Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today's pick a card reading is going to be all about what's coming next for you. So we have 3 piles for you to choose from today, and I'm going to show you each of the crystals up close so that you can make your choice. I will leave timestamps below in the description for each pile. I am also taking personal bookings now, so if you are interested in a personal reading, you can contact me at the email which is in the description. And if you like this reading and you resonate and you want to see more, be sure to like and subscribe for more content. And thank you to everyone who has subscribed and left all the beautiful comments and donations. I truly appreciate all of you. So for pile 1, we have the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot and this lapis lazuli egg. For pile number 2, we have the Pulp Tarot and this clear quartz cluster. And for pile number 3, we have the Lord of the Rings Tarot and this beautiful piece of moonstone. So if you need more time to sit with the energy and pick your pile, you can pause it here, and I will see you at your reading. Hello, my pile 1s. If you chose the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot and this beautiful lapis lazuli egg, this is going to be your reading about what's coming next. Before we get into the tarot, we are going to do an energy check here with these oracle cards. And I also pulled a rune today for each pile. And I'm going to show you yours. So you got Hagalaz. I think I'm pronouncing that right. And it means disruption, wild power, change, disruptive weather, storms, wrath of nature, uncontrollable forces. So I'm going to stick your rune right up. Let's put it right by your stone where you can see it. So I feel like you're going through something right now. So before we get into this, we are going to have a look at these oracle cards. So the first card we have is Rest and Rejuvenation. Poverty. The distraction of shiny things. Rose without thorns. You have the right to your joy, peace, sweetness of life. And finally, we have the Shaman. So I feel like you are going through some type of change in your life, some type of disruption. It's possible that you lost someone or a job, because we do have the poverty card here. So you are feeling on the outs of something here. You are feeling quite low here with this poverty card. Now, like I said with the ruin, it does appear that you're going through some kind of change here. And with the Shaman card talks about experiencing something or experiencing an ending or a disruption that forces you to heal and forces you to face your shadows. It's definitely a place of healing or needing to heal. Spirit's really saying that what's coming next is a time where you focus on yourself and you focus on your own healing and what makes you happy. Do the things that make your soul happy. This card, distraction of shiny things. This is talking about spending time on things that make your soul shine, make your soul happy, things you lose time in. Like for me, when I'm reading tarot, I have no sense of time, and it's because it makes my soul happy. I don't ever time my readings, and sometimes when I come up here to do my readings, I'm gone from my, from my family for hours at a time because I don't watch the clock because it makes my soul happy. And it's in periods of healing and periods of being on our own and facing ourselves that we do find the things that make our soul happy. And it's really about working on yourself and finding what makes you happy and not a person that makes you happy. I am going to read this card for you because it's such a beautiful card and it really fits in with focusing on yourself and what makes you happy. You have a right to your joy, peace, sweetness of life. Most roses have thorns that protect the plant when you walk past, so it's easy to get caught on their spiky stems. As if the thorn themselves are an initiation for the observer to get to the breathtaking beauty and scent of the queen of all flowers in full bloom. However, there are a small amount of roses that are unlike most, possessing few or no thorns, and that's what this card is all about. The rose without thorns is an invitation to dive straight into the sweetness of your life, to rest in the softness, to enjoy the delicious fragrance, to rest in and relish what it means to currently be alive in this body, to embrace all the beauty and bliss that life has to offer. You have a right to your joy, and the rose without thorns wants you to take every ounce of it in right now, to celebrate and lose yourself in the sweetness of your life. This is a rare moment in time of deep peace and enjoyment. You're being called to taste all that it has to offer, to drink it all in. You deserve every drop. So yeah, what's coming next is healing for you, working on yourself, rejuvenating yourself, finding what makes your soul happy. We need things in our lives to make our souls happy. Otherwise, we just eat, sleep, work, repeat, eat, sleep, work, repeat. It's just an endless cycle. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get into the tarot for you now. Spirit, what other information do you have for what's coming next for my pile 1 today? I do see the Hermit on the bottom, so it does look like what's coming next for you is a time of working on yourself, a time of protecting your energy, inner work, healing. So Spirit, what is coming next for my pile 1s? What is coming next for my pile 1s? Oh, look at that. We have a card flipped over. What is coming next for my pile 1s, Spirit? I see another card in there. All these cards flipping over. We have strength in the world. So you could be closing out a hard cycle here. And Spirit's reminding you to be strong. I keep getting glimpses of flipped over cards. I guess that was it. Thank you, Spirit. Thanks for those additional messages. All right, let's see what's coming in for you, pile 1. Okay, so we have, right away, we have the 4 of Pentacles and the Devil. So some toxic energy here in the past. Someone possibly could have had a hold on you here. We have the Fool. We have the Ace of Potions, which is the Ace of Cups. And one more card, please, Spirit. We have Strength and the World. All right. And we have the Queen of Candles on the bottom, which is the Queen of Wands. All right, so in your past, we do have a toxic energy here. We have the Devil. So this can talk about addictions. This can talk about codependency. This can talk about somebody being obsessed with you. It can also talk about someone being toxic with you or having a toxic relationship with someone. And with these cards about change and upheaval, I feel like maybe a toxic relationship or a toxic situation has come to an end here. And I feel like you weren't getting what you needed out of this situation. I feel like it was very toxic. And I feel like somebody could have been breadcrumbing you here, holding back, not giving you enough here. Now, this is a new beginning for you here after this time of rest. I did see the Hermit on the bottom of the deck. So there is a period of healing coming, especially with that rest and rejuvenation card. I really do feel like you and this person were supposed to close out this cycle together. I feel like it was a very toxic cycle that the two of you were stuck in. If this is a person, it could be a family member, it could be a job, take it as it resonates. And you were very strong throughout all of this. You were very strong throughout all of this. But this was toxic here, and it hurt you. And it's caused this upheaval in your life. Now, I feel like by facing your shadows and healing, especially with that Hermit energy, and focusing on yourself, you are going to experience a glow up here, because the Queen of Wands can talk about, also the Nine of Pentacles, but the Queen of Wands can talk about someone who's just glowing, radiating positive energy, radiating confidence. You could be very creative. You could have an online presence, but I feel like this needed to happen. Whatever this disruption was in this toxic connection, toxic environment, this needed to happen, because you can't grow into the Queen of Wands when you're in a toxic energy. Now, you do have the Fool and the Ace of Potions here. So this card talks about new beginnings. So there is a new beginning here for you after a time of rest. And the Ace of Potions talks about new loves, new love, an offer of love. And whether or not this is the person from your past or this is someone new, this is coming in after this period of healing. If it is someone from your past, I do feel like you and this person have a very strong connection, and it's possible that something needed to be healed before it could move forward. But for some of you, I am getting the message of this was a toxic kind of energy. And I did see the Seven of Swords want to come out as well, which is also can talk about manipulation and sneakiness. But this cycle is closing out here. This cycle that you were stuck in here, this toxic cycle is closing out. And whether or not that is with this person or without, Spirit is telling you that you need to focus on yourself now. You need to focus on your own passion for yourself. You need to find this passion for yourself now. You need to find what makes your soul feel passionate, what makes you feel happy. And that's going to allow you to grow. For those of you that do resonate with someone toxic in your past, I feel like this cycle had to close out. And I feel like you didn't want it to close out with the Strength card being here. But I feel like it needed to close out. You needed to walk away from it if you are going to have someone new in your life. Because these toxic energies, and these people that aren't meant for us, we hang on to them, right? This card can be about holding on too tight. We hang on to them, and that prevents new from entering our life. That this person here takes up a space in your life that somebody new could take up. And basically, it's not until we walk away from the toxicity that change can occur. And make room for the new, make room for new love in your life, whether or not that's with this person or not. Deep down, intuitively, I feel like you know about, like, if this person, if you want a future with this person, if you think that this person can break cycles and heal as well. But right now, that's definitely what your focus is going to be on, is yourself and what makes you happy. And just loving yourself. Actually, this Ace of Cups, for those of you who are moving on, the Ace of Cups can also talk about self-love. So maybe it's that you are setting out on this journey of self-healing and self-love and learning how to fill your own cup up first. Maybe that, for some of you, is a lesson that you needed to learn, that you need to come first. Your cup needs to be filled first before you can fill anybody else's. Now, I do want to go ahead and get a couple of advice cards for you. So I usually use this one. It's called The Universe Has My Back. What advice do you have for pile 1? The universe works fast when I'm having fun. I love how that came out, because we have the distraction of shiny things here and the rose without thorns. And we talked a lot about finding what makes you happy, finding what makes your soul happy. And I also talked about when you find something that makes your soul happy, the time passes and you don't even realize it. So definitely healing occurs when you put yourself first and focus on yourself and what makes you happy. My energy creates my reality. What I focus on is what I will manifest. And I honor how I want to feel. So this shaman card talks about honoring your feelings, and I like how that came out. You have the right to feel any way you want to feel, and nobody can tell you otherwise. It's like I said about this person, if you feel intuitively that this person can change and will change, then honor that. Honor how you feel. Trust your gut. I surrender to a power greater than me. So with the healing there, I am getting that Spirit wants you to work on yourself right now. Surrender to yourself. I'm also going to get some of these cards for you. We'll see if anything resonates. Where is that one? You need to know that you're enough. Exactly, you are enough. And it's possible that you need this hermit period to realize how wonderful you are and how you are enough. And you will always be enough for you. Take courage. So I like that with the Strength card. Take courage. I know it's scary. It can be scary facing our shadows. I'm just going to take that top one because a bunch came out. Always stay true to yourself and never let what somebody else says distract you from your goals. I love that. And on the bottom of the deck, think you can't, surprise yourself. So with that rune that came out about disruption and change and circumstances, I feel like Spirit's reminding you that even in the darkest of times, you've got this. You've got it. Oh, you are braver than you think. So to end this out, I am going to get a few of these letter charms for you to see, just for extra confirmation. If your initial or whatever doesn't come out, it doesn't mean this reading isn't for you. It just means these are just meant to be extra confirmations for people. So we have I, we have S, J, L, X, T. I'm not sure why I wanted to hold the X up. Y, 2 H's, H, H, U, F. We have an A, a D, and another D. All right, I'm going to leave that here, pile 1. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope some of this resonated. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you resonated, and if you want to see more content. Thank you so much for all your support. I'm sending you so much love and light. Bye. Hello, my pile 2s. If you chose the clear quartz cluster and the pulp tarot, this is going to be your reading all about what's coming next. So before we begin, let me find a place for that. Before we get into the tarot, I did draw a rune for each pile. So there's yours to give us an understanding of what's going on here. And we are going to do a quick energy check here. So first we have the 5th chakra, Archangel. Why can't I say that? Gabriel. It's funny because it's a card about communication and suddenly I'm stumbling all over my words. I mean, I normally stumble all over my words because I have ADHD, but we have courtship, success and transformation. So some kind of transformation taking place. A thorn, protection, boundaries, clear communication. And the Judge. So I am going to just talk a little bit about this energy before we get into the tarot cards. So the rune that you got is, oh dear, Awaz. And it's the letter E apparently, and it means balance, stability, harmony, teamwork, trust, loyalty. So that is the rune that I pulled for your reading. So pile 2, the energy that I'm getting here is that there is some kind of balance being established next in your life, and I feel like it has to do with a connection because we do have the courtship card here, as well as we have cards that talk about boundaries, communication. So I feel like you're dealing with somebody else right here, but I feel like there is some type of balance that is coming to this connection. Now with the Judge card, the Judge card talks about helping us discern what is safe and true. In shadow, it could talk about having harsh judgments or even judging ourselves really harshly. So that's possible that that's something that you did in the past. Maybe you were too hard on yourself. Maybe you were judgmental about this connection, if this is a connection that you're resonating to. But the Judge helps us remember that love is the deciding factor. Love is what matters in the end. And while in shadow, the Judge can talk about being unforgiving, when in light, it talks about someone who will forgive again and again and again, because love is the deciding factor. And it's hard to give up on someone that you love. Now we do have the courtship card here, so I feel like if you are in a connection with someone and you're on rocky ground, I feel like there is balance coming. I feel like there is a transformation happening, especially with this success in transformation. I feel like it's possible that I feel like there needed to be boundaries within this connection, with this protection, boundaries, clear communication card. And I feel like maybe before there could be communication, something did have to come into balance. I'm just noticing on this card too, I feel like before you can move on in this connection, there needs to be boundaries set, clear boundaries. There needs to be clear communication between you and this person. I do see, I don't know if you see it, there's that little C right there. And that looks like a message. So I feel like there is incoming communication here from someone, especially with the 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel, because this does talk about speaking your truth. It talks about possibly someone who has to reveal a truth to you, especially with this throat chakra. This card appears when we need assistance in speaking in our truth. And I feel like Archangel Gabriel is here to help you with that, because I feel like this balance that's coming in next is going to require communication, especially if there's some kind of forgiveness that needs to happen here, because this, like I said, this card talks about forgiving, and that talks about balance. So there needs to be forgiveness, balance, communication. I am going to read from the book for you for this one. Let me just grab it. I'm just trying to find the page. Some days I open it right up to the page, and then other days this happens and I go through the whole book. I could just look at the table of contents, I guess. All right, so this card reads, "The rose is the queen of all flowers. Her soft and often fragrant bloom takes our breath away from near and far. A bridge between heaven and earth, she has the capacity to act as a portal to our true selves and call our soul more fully into our body. She leaves us in awe, allowing us to experience heaven on earth for a very precious moment. But the rose is not all gentle and soft. In fact, most roses are armed with spiky thorns and prickles of various shapes and sizes. These sharp protectors act like knights defending their queen, clearly setting the necessary boundary and conditions for her to do what she was born to do. We too are like the rose. So often we don't get taught how important clear communication and loving boundaries are to our relationship. When we're not clear on our needs, when we don't communicate them, when we don't take responsibility for them, it's impossible for others to give us what we need. This often results in a breakdown in the relationship. Communicating our needs and establishing boundaries allows not only for us to feel safe, but for those we're in a relationship with to feel safe too. This card delivers the message of importance of clear communication, boundaries, and taking responsibilities for our needs. To be clear with others, we must be clear with ourselves and then communicate this to our loved ones around the world." So communication and boundaries, definitely important with this courtship. Maybe it's possible that this is something that needs to come into balance before you can be courting or dating. I know the courtship is an outdated term. We do have Ace of Wands on the bottom, so a fresh new beginning possibly. So Spirit, what's coming next for our pile 2? What's coming next for pile 2? We see balance. What other information can you give us about what's coming next for for my pile twos. All right, Spirit, what's coming next for our pile twos, please, Spirit? Nice clear message about what's coming next for them. And any other information you want to give us. Okay, so a bunch came out. So we have the Six of Swords, which that can talk about moving into calmer waters, reconciliation. We have the Ten of Swords, so an ending. We have the Tower. We have the Nine of Wands. All right, and let's get one more card, Spirit. We have the Three of Pentacles on the bottom, I just saw. Okay, Strength and the Lovers. All right. High Priestess on the bottom. So I feel like intuitively, you know that what's coming next is moving forward with someone, because we do have the Lovers card here. So this reading is about you and somebody else. I really do feel like with all the talk of needing to set boundaries and communication, that this is a new, not a new person, but this is a new part of your journey with this person. I do feel like you and this person have experienced things in the past together, and that what's coming next is the two of you moving into calmer waters, the two of you moving forward. You could have been stuck in a very stagnant energy with very low communication, and it's hard to move forward without communication, especially open, honest communication. Actually, it's impossible to move forward without open and honest communication. And maybe you're someone that has problems communicating. Maybe that's why this card appeared, because like I said, this card can sometimes appear when we need help with our communication. As I'm saying that, my throat's closing over. The next card we have is the Ten of Swords. So I do feel like there was an ending here. There was definitely an ending here. This is, if you're resonating with it being someone from your past, this is someone that put you through a lot, especially with the Strength card here. I feel like this person put you through a lot. You and this person could also be having an ego death. And ego deaths are, it's what allows us to move forward and heal. Moving forward, we have the Tower, which is all about rebuilding the foundation. So I feel like you might have had a somewhat stable structure here, somewhat stable, or you thought it was stable. But there definitely is something about communication here and boundaries that makes me feel like that's why this didn't work. That's why whatever this is kind of crashed and burned. That's kind of the message I'm getting here with this. But this person wants to rebuild this foundation here. And with the incoming communication and setting boundaries, especially with this Nine of Wands here, I do feel like boundaries need to be set here. I had to pause it because my son was singing again. So yeah, I do feel like this person, I love how there's like fire here, and I kind of feel like Spirit's telling you, you know, don't give up here, because this card does talk about not giving up. It talks about the final push. But I also get the sense of boundaries with this card. Maybe your walls were up really high in the past. Maybe they weren't up high enough. But definitely moving forward, there needs to be strong boundaries here. Strong boundaries, see, Strength card. I do feel like you and this person have a soul connection with the Strength card, the Lovers, and then the High Priestess. Can you guys see what's on the bottom of that deck? No, you can't. I'm going to show it to you. Here, look. Look at that. Death. New beginning. So anyway, I do feel like this is a spiritual connection with the High Priestess. I feel like maybe you get intuitive messages about this person or receive downloads. Like maybe you have daydreams about them and you don't realize that you're actually intuitively seeing what's happening with them. But yeah, this is a very strong connection. In the past, this could have been someone that was tempted by something else or someone else, because I am getting a message of temptation here with the apple and this fairy figure right here. And maybe this person didn't choose you. So I don't want to blabber on. So just in summary, what's coming next here is a discussion of some kind, an important conversation, communication about the foundation of this courtship, communication about how you can both protect yourselves from being hurt, communication on boundaries, strong boundaries. And if there was something in the past here where this person chose somebody else over you or something else over you, and you still have unresolved feelings about that, you need to communicate that with this person, because that'll just fester away if you don't communicate it. If you don't speak it into existence and communicate that with this person, set a boundary. And also rely on your intuition here. I feel like you are a highly intuitive person. You could be very spiritual, especially if you're watching readings. There is a new beginning coming here. And the foundation of this is so important because, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? So we have the Hierophant here, and then we have the Four of Wands. So this is a destined connection. This is higher level of commitment. These cards talk about marriage, engagement. This one talks about celebration, weddings, home, the four corners of a stable foundation. Very interesting. We have the Knight of Pentacles underneath that. So this person could be coming in very slow, but they are coming for you. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and get some advice for you from the Universe Has My Back deck. What advice does pile 2, need to hear? Pile 2, messages for pile 2. So first we have, I am a spirit having a human experience and I'm here to get closer to love. My fearless freedom lights up the world. I recognize that I have chosen fear and I choose again. I choose love. So in the past, again, you or this person could have chose someone else. You could have chose to listen to the fear. Fear is not reality. Just remember that. Fear is usually anxiety. But I really like this message. I recognize that I have chosen fear and I choose again. I choose love. I choose love this time. I choose building a solid foundation for this connection. The more energy and intention I bring into my faith, the more fearless and free I am. That, for me, that speaks to the High Priestess card. And I feel like you are manifesting something here with this person. I'm also going to get a couple cards from this for you. What messages does pile 2 need to hear, Spirit? We have, life is very interesting. In the end, some of your greatest pains become your greatest strengths. Drew Barrymore. I love Drew Barrymore. I've been watching Drew Barrymore movies lately. I just love her. What else for pile 2? Go get what you deserve. I love that. Communicate what you deserve. Communicate what you want. Communicate your expectations in this courtship. Oh, comebacks are always stronger than the setbacks. See, there's a comeback here. There's a death and a rebirth here. There's a comeback. I live my life because I dare. That's awesome. All right, and I am going to end it with some charms. So I'm going to get some of these charms for you. These are initials, and only take what resonates. These are just meant to be extra confirmation. If you don't see your initial or your person's initial here, it's not because they're not in this reading. It's just extra confirmation. All right. So we have O, Y, somebody coming in and saying yo. L, we have an A, D, N, F, E, U, Q, M, and an I. All right, pile 2, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining me for this reading. If this resonated, don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment. I love all of your comments. I do try and respond and connect with you guys in the comment section. And yeah, thank you again for all of your support. I am sending you so much love and light, especially when it comes to communication, because I am someone who really struggles with communication. So I'm sending you lots of healing energy, and yeah, just thanks for being here. Sending you love. Bye. Hello, my pile 3s. If you chose the Lord of the Rings Tarot and this piece of moonstone, this is going to be your reading all about what's coming next. So before we begin, I am going to lay out these oracle cards that I have for an energy check. And I also, today I did something a little different. I pulled a rune for each pile to see what the overall energy is before we get into the tarot. So that's your rune, which I'll show you in a minute. So first we have, these are all upside down, the Temple Path. So something that's destined is coming. Marriage. So a destined connection. The Vow. I hope you can hear me over that. My son is vacuuming. Changes. And the Reunion. Soul recognition, collaboration, partnership, friendship. So a very clear message coming in here with all these. We have partnership, collaboration, the vow, marriage, and temple path. So for your rune, this is Ride-tho, the letter R. Ride, journey, progress, riding, the right order, the right way to proceed, rationality, growth. So there is growth here, and I feel like it's spiritual growth. And I feel like it has to do with a spiritual connection here. So before we get into the tarot, I am going to talk a little bit about these cards. So right now I feel like you are about to see the growth and fruits of your labor kind of thing. I feel like what's coming next is partnership, and that is apparent in 3 cards because we have the Reunion, the Vow, marriage. Now the vow talks about being in an energy that is shifting towards your destiny. So if you are with someone or coming together with someone, I do feel like this is Spirit's way of telling you that this is a destined connection. We do have this little jewel here, which can represent a proposal. We also have a white dove here, which talks about reconciliation. So this could be someone from your past that you're not in contact with, someone from your past that you are in contact with, but what's coming is commitment, moving towards your destiny. this talks about healing a karmic cycle. It's what comes after you heal the karmic cycle. What comes after the karmic cycle is finally being able to fulfill this soul contract. This talks about, like I said, union with someone that you have a soul contract with. Now, I do feel like whatever this is, you have been being guided towards it. Whether or not you've been being guided towards it for a while now, or this is new, I do feel like your spirit guides, these represent spirit guides, and I do feel like this connection with this person is protected by both of your spirit guides. And I kind of get the sense that whenever you kind of lose your way, spirit kind of points you guys back together, especially with this vow here. I feel like this is a fated, destined connection that's coming in. Again, I do feel like you know this person, but this also could be a new person. There are changes coming to this dynamic. So I do feel this talks about ending cycles, and this reminds me of the World card. And it kind of feels like you guys have settled some type of karmic debt and you're releasing it, and that's what's causing this relationship to change, to grow, because this rune does talk about growth and progress. And that's what's coming next here, progress. I feel like you're releasing some karmic debt here. Now, I do want to read from the book for you for this one. This card can symbolize, I did see in the book, it can symbolize obviously marriage. We also have the church back here. We have these flowers, which can symbolize June. So June might be important. You might have met this person in June. You might be marrying this person next June. Now for the reunion card, I do want to read that from the book. So let me just find it. Sometimes I find them quickly, sometimes I don't. The reunion. All right. This current period in history has been spoken of by mystics through the ages, and you chose to incarnate right in the middle of it. You didn't do so alone. We came here in waves with joint soul missions. You were never meant to walk in this life alone. It's time to come back together, to remember that we're not in competition, rather we hold keys for each other. This is the way to the rose. To bloom bravely regardless of what others are doing, and not be threatened when others do this alongside you. The rose doesn't open and close according to who's walking by. She reveals her beauty to the world without waver. You're here to do that too. There are people who at a soul level chose to walk alongside of you, but for them to find you, you must first let them see you. Reveal yourself to the world, open your heart and mind to collaboration rather than competition. So many of us, particularly those who identify as women, have learned to be mistrustful of one another as if we're in competition. This card comes with a message of collaborations, partnerships, and friendships, a confirmation that one or more people are entering your life, or it could be a sign that you're being called to co-create a project with someone you already know. Decide to bloom together. So I feel like this, in this next stage, this is blooming. It's funny because I got the message of a blooming romance with these blooming cherry blossoms. All right, so now we are going to go ahead and get into the tarot to see if we can get any more information about what's coming next for you. I hope for some of you that were drawn to this pile that you're a fan of Lord of the Rings, because that makes these cards more fun. Look, Justice. This is one of my favorite decks to shuffle. All right, so Spirit, can you give us a message about what's coming next for my pile threes? What is coming next for my pile threes? So Spirit, what's coming next for my pile threes? What can my pile threes expect? Okay, we have the Two of Rings, which is the Two of Pentacles, which talks about balance. We have the Magician, which talks about manifesting. We have the Three of Pentacles, which talks about collaboration. So double confirmation with the collaboration here. Oh my goodness, we have the Ten of Pentacles. So, not collaboration. Oh, my brain. I have ADHD and the words just kind of fall out of my brain sometimes. Double confirmation of Ten of Pentacles energy with that Marriage card. And we have the World here. And on the bottom we have the Star. So beautiful. All right. So what's coming next is, I feel like you and this person are working towards balancing this connection. And it could be that somebody here needs to balance this connection with something else. So their personal life, their work life. But this is you and this person working to balance this together. I really like the symbolism of the Two of Rings. I know it's the Two of Pentacles, but it does give me that Two of Cups energy, that commitment energy, especially with the two rings. And it's under the Changes card, so I am called to say that it's possible that you guys are going to have to make some changes in balancing this connection. You might have to prioritize it more. You might be prioritizing it too much, or in the past you might have prioritized it too much, and even that can cause an imbalance. So just make sure that you're balancing things here, that you're not spending all of your energy on this, but that you are spending enough energy on it, if that makes sense to you. Now we do have the Magician card here, so I feel like you and this person have been through quite a bit, and I feel like as you come back together, if this is someone from your past, that you now have the tools to make this union work. You have enough healing. You've gone through enough healing that this connection can come into balance. I feel like this person wants to grow with you. This person may look up to you. You may be farther along on your healing journey. I feel like this person wants to work together though, moving forward. Maybe in the past they wanted to be in control, but maybe they weren't a team player here. Maybe they didn't want to work together, but moving forward, they want to work together with you. This is a card of collaboration, of coming back together. It can often talk about reconciliation. Now we do have, right under the vow and the marriage card, we have the Ten of Pentacles. So there is the possibility of a stable future here with this person. This is someone that you can grow with. This is someone that it's possible. I always get with the Ten of Pentacles that this could be a blended family. So you could both have children, or you could have children, because this represents the joining of family. This card can also represent financial stability too. And here we have the World card. So I do feel like you and this person were destined to fulfill a soul contract, especially with, I didn't mention it before, but in this card we do see this swirl here, And I feel like this is some kind of cycle that you and this person were in. And the world talks about closing out that cycle. And I feel like that's exactly what is coming next, the closing out of whatever this cycle between you and this person is. I feel like this person thinks about you a lot. I feel like they look at you as you're their world. This card can also talk about being online. So it's possible you met online or you talk to each other online. You could be at a distance from each other as well. This card does talk about distance. But this is destined here. This is a destined connection this is a soul contract confirmed with this card here and the vow and marriage. This is a connection that's meant to help you grow and evolve into your higher self, the version of your higher self. It's possible that your higher self is guiding you as well as their higher selves. Your higher selves could be in contact with each other. I love this card, especially with the green here. I feel like this person or this connection is meant to heal both of your hearts in some way. That's really beautiful energy. That's really beautiful. I am going to go ahead and get some advice for you. Your reading was very straightforward here. So what's some advice you have for pile 3? The moment I embrace peace within and surrender the outcome is the moment that the universe can truly get to work. So if this is something that you are manifesting, just remember don't overthink it. Manifest it, yes, but don't overthink it. Don't push it and surrender control here, because this is a destined connection and what's meant for you will not pass you by. And sometimes the harder that you try and force a situation or force a connection, when there's healing that needs to be done, the further apart you can actually get. Surrender is one of the hardest things I think I've had to learn, because I am a control freak, okay? Obstacles or detours in the right direction. I was just saying that you can't force it. So if there's obstacles there for a reason. It's because you have to heal something. So if you two trigger each other and there's a huge falling out and you both say things you didn't mean, that needs to be healed. That's too many. One more. They say 2 more. In any moment, I can surrender to the powerful presence of love through prayer, contemplation, and stillness. And when I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. So lots of messages about focusing on love here. My faith has the power to turn trauma into healing, conflict into growth, and fear into love. So I did say this is a very healing connection, and I feel like it's possible that the both of you have trauma here, that this connection is actually helping to heal, and it's closing out possibly generational cycles of trauma. Your ancestors even, because we have these roots here, which it reminds me of the 6 of Cups card, which can talk about healing childhood trauma. So I do feel like this is a soul connection meant to heal that trauma and to change your generational trauma there. All right, and we're also going to get a couple of cards from this deck. What advice do you have for pile 3? What advice do you have? All right, you're all coming with, they all want to come out. It takes courage to grow up and become who you really are. And I did get the sense that this connection is a connection that forces you to become your higher self. And becoming our higher self it does take courage, because you have to be willing to acknowledge your shadows as well. The quality of strength lined with tenderness is an unbeatable combination. So maybe a message to treat each other tenderly. My courage always arises at every attempt to intimidate me. That's a great, you know, sometimes that happens to me, but not in the best way. Like, it's almost like when someone tries to intimidate me, that's the only time I can actually speak. Well, actually, yeah, it gives me the courage to speak up for myself. So I feel like maybe this person pushed you to speak up for yourself. You are braver than you think, and I live my life because I dare. And I am going to also, I've started pulling letter charms. So I am going to pull a few of these letter charms for initials or words, whatever comes out. And this is just meant to be extra confirmation. It's not meant to, like, if you don't see your initial here, it doesn't mean anything. This is just meant for additional confirmation. So here we go. All right, so we have K, J, we have X, M, R, O, H, F, Q, N, Z, or Z, depending on where you are, L, E, and A. So I am going to go ahead and leave it here. Thank you so much for joining me, Pile 3. I hope that this resonated. This was very beautiful energy. I feel like there are happy things to come here. And yeah, I'm just sending you so much love and light, and be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more pick a card readings or pick a pile, whatever you want to call them. And I am booking personal readings. That information is in the description below. Thank you again for your patience as I learn how to use YouTube, because it is very different than TikTok. And yeah, again, I'm sending you so much love and light. Bye.